It is the Technology Show where we translate geek
into regular speak.
At least we know that Tes, the producer, has been listening every week. Hello, Tes.
Absolutely. And if I don't listen live, I'm then doing it in the show notes for YouTube and then turning it into a podcast.
Well, let me put on this nice screen because everyone gets one of these when they join me. So our co-host of the week is none other than you. That's you, without the headset.
Yes, it is.
And we were just talking off air. This has been a long time coming. So for all the listeners and viewers and everyone else out there, Tes is the magic woman behind the scenes that makes everything really work well. In fact, even our little video clip that we just watched now.
Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
And I got my bell just in case Angela.
Oh, look, I'm here to help you too.
Did you see that? Where's my bell? Oh, I haven't got my sound effects on.
Did you hear mine?
There we go. Got it.
Oh, yours is better than mine.
There we go. So Thingz with a Z. Now I have to compliment you. You're wearing your Jabra 85H over ears.
Love them.
I have my Jabra 85 or Evolve 2 over ears. I can't wear them for the studio because I got too much going on. But that's not what today's show is about. Thingz with a Z this week is actually the new Jabra 85 T. So the in-ear version. To get rid of the case for now and just bring them up on screen. Just also helps me highlight some of the difference. So first of all, for anyone that's been watching the show from pretty much day dot, I mean, I'm talking about the days when we're still back in the cafe, you would have always seen Ari and I always had earphones around our neck.
Is that like 2018? Something like that?
Yeah, definitely. Those were Jabras. I've been very fortunate enough to have the 65, 75s, and I now have the 85s.
They look very slick.
Right there.
I'm actually in need of a new pair. My apples have died.
Well, okay, so it's actually interesting you bring up Apple because that was something I was going to bring up as part of this review. For everyone that knows me, and in fact, you always joke about it, and I even mentioned on last week's show, is that there's never a show where I don't mention Apple. So I've actually effectively ticked the box because I've mentioned Apple, so tick. But I have the watch, I have the computer, I have the Mac Mini, I have the iMac, I have everything that there is to have, but I do not and have never owned AirPods, ever. I don't like them.
2 years they only lasted.
But I don't like them. And I've always gone to Jabra as my headset. It's just, so when they first came out, they came out with the one size fits all, which is not the case. And that's one of the highlights of Jabra. That's actually one of the highlights, and one of the things we'll be talking about is they come with little rubber, I don't know what the right word is, silicone bud things, so that you can fit you can actually make them fit in your ears, and it's so important. In fact, I'm going to put one in.
So the size and the shape can mold to the inside of your ear.
I mean, I can move my head. I'm moving my head around while we're talking, and it does not fall out.
Fantastic.
Now the new AirPod Pros.
You've got a nice color there, Brett. They seem like a very nice
beige gold.
Suits
one
you.
Of the colors. Thank you. Does it not clash with my brown hair and my orange background and black chair?
Contrast.
Contrast. So basically, that's one of the things is the Jabra Fit has always been better. In fact, it's one of the best on the market. That's one of the things that a lot of the reviewers, myself included, do highly rate. But the importance of the fit comes in when it comes to active noise cancelling. So active noise cancelling, which is especially work from home, you really need to be able to lock out stuff. Can you see these little dots, these little holes up here above the word Jabra? All right. Those actually help stop the noise in your ear. So if you're chewing or making chewing sounds and that when you're talking, people don't hear that. But then also the mics pointing outwards stop all the wind noises and that coming in as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot of thought that's gone into the design of the 85s. I must say, and I don't know the reason for it. Maybe it's because it's wireless. This case is a wireless charging case, which is the first time that Jabra has done this. The case is bigger than the 75s, which I don't, as I said, maybe it's because of wireless charging, but there's a wireless charger underneath, so you can sit it down in your head.
Pretty thick as well.
It's that part's the same as my 75s, but it's definitely bigger. I've got the 75s here for a comparison, so you can see that it is bigger. It's not so much that it's thicker.
It's bulkier.
About the same, but it's higher. And I'm going to guess that that's because of Wi-Fi. Is it a deal breaker? No, it's just that we seem to go smaller in life and everything, and this one's gone bigger. Then 6 hours of playback with active noise cancelling. I think it's 7 without, but I always have ANC on. Then the app that comes with it. So what's really cool, now I didn't notice this on the 75s, and I don't know if it's backward compatible, but when you put the headset in for the first time, it actually measures your ear. It plays these little series of beeps to find out what you're hearing. And then it sets up the earbuds based on your hearing profile, which is incredible. So the sound that I hear is very different to the sound that you hear. I don't know if you've ever been for one of those audio tests at these, like, what do they call them?
No, my dad. I take my dad.
And they ping. They put a headset on and they
Yep.
ping, and you've got to hit a button. It's exactly the same. You hit the screen every time you hear the ping, and it sets up your headset for you. So that was really cool, because that's...
Is Jabra the only one that does this?
I think in that one of the other brands, I think it's Neuro, a company out of Melbourne.
Right.
They do something like that.
Yep.
But what a lot of people may not know is Jabra's legacy is actually hearing aids. They come from the hearing industry. So they understand the ear, they understand audio, they understand hearing. And that's probably why their sound profiles are so good. And there's just a screenshot I put up of the app. It shows your batteries when you turn on. You can slide to hear through mode. Now you've got that on your 85s as well. You can tap the side of your I think it's your left, and you can have hear through. I can do the same thing on the 85s. I can change my graphic equalizer. There's really nice sounds. There's ocean waves. And if you ever want to de-stress at the end of the day, you just push the ocean. You can do this as well, Tess. If you link yours to your phone, that will be part of your app as well. And there's even a Find My feature. So if I've ever lost the things, I can find it like you do with Apple tags. I can just search for my Jabras. So I'm really...
I haven't done that yet. I've got to do it.
I have to give a real big shout out here to Lewis as well. Lewis PR, which is the PR company for Jabra. I actually reached out to them because I needed something done. And they're like, oh, you haven't reviewed the 85s. Can we send them to you? So I always love getting things to review. And, as I said, I was on the 75.
I'm happy to review them too if they need a second pair of ears. I
have to say that from the 65s to the 75s to the 85s, Jabra doesn't disappoint. And I hope the listeners really do take this as a test to me. The fact that I prefer these over an Apple product, has to say something about the product, given me...
Now, the big question. Tell us the price.
I don't know. I think it's $249 or $299. So it's definitely in the price comparison to the AirPods. The
AirPods went up to $399, I think, now.
Definitely cheaper than those. That I can say. I've never seen anything on the in-ears from Jabras. The big ones like you're wearing, those can be in the 3s and 4s, but definitely not the in-ears, not the true wireless buds.
Yep.
So good value for money. Oh, and if you register your earbuds on the app, you get a 2-year warranty.
Okay. So
extra warranty. So
do they answer the same way? Tap?
Yeah, there's a little button on the one side. You can also configure the buttons.
Yep.
And here's the big kicker. I don't know if AirPods can do this. I can connect to 2 devices at the same time. So I can be connected to my MacBook and connected to my phone. So if I'm listening to music and the phone rings, the music pause, and I answer the call. I don't think AirPods do that.
No, it drops off one and it connects, because my friend was we were on his iPad and it disconnected from my iPhone and connected to his iPad, but not simultaneously.
No.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I think I might be making an investment.
There we go. So not available in the SME mall, unfortunately, not yet, but maybe we'll get the team Jabra to put up a shop. So that brings me to the end of my review for this week, and Thingz with a Z. I did fire up my bell for a reason. There it is. Right. Business tech news. This one here.
What's hot?
Right. So this is what nightmares are made for when you speak to my son, because that is China banning online games, kind of. They are from today, actually. Today's the 1st of September, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So from today,
inch and a punch for the first day of the month.
And you're under 18, you will only be allowed to play online games between 8 and 9 o'clock on a Friday Saturday, and Sunday. In other words, 3 hours a week. Now,
So sorry, 1
hours a day.
hour Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
1 hour on Friday, 1 hour on Saturday, 1 hour on Sunday between 8 and 9 p.m. That's it.
All right. Well, there's only one question. Why?
Well, they're trying to break the dependency on screen. They're trying to stop the kids from living on screens. I think there's a bigger play, and I'm going to just give, this is just my opinion, right? I mean, that's all I can give is my opinion. For a country with such a big online gaming environment and potential to dominate in the online gaming world, this is quite weird. But I think the reason for it, and again, my opinion, I don't know if this is the reason. I haven't read up on all the articles. Their stance is that this is for the good or the welfare of the child. I think that because gamers engage online using Discord, Twitch, WhatsApp, etc., Telegram, all the other different platforms, and they've put VPNs, they can get around it. I think China is worried about them communicating with people in the West.
I was just going to say they're trying to get the disconnect.
They're putting that wall back up.
Yeah. But wait, but yet if you're over 18, you're not limited.
It's okay. No.
Well, so then communication wouldn't be an issue then, would it?
Well, no, but here's the thing, right? The current best Fortnite player in the world is only 16 years old. I can guarantee you that he spends more than 3 hours a day practicing. You can't be the best in the world. Take any sport, and esports is a sport. If he's
a natural?
No, not at that level. I mean, that's like saying, Tiger Woods was a natural, but he couldn't get to number one without putting in 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day.
Perfect practice makes perfect.
Correct. So yeah, it's interesting. Don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if people got to put up VPNs and block their IP addresses. I don't know. Anyway, that's just one of my pieces of news. Do you remember this phone and the debacle that went with it? No.
I'm going in for a closer look. It's a Samsung?
It is a Samsung, and it is the Note 7. Do you remember
this? It's burnt.
Do you remember about 4 years ago, these phones were just catching on fire? They actually were banned on airplanes, and Aria had one of these. I used to take the mickey out of him because this was the easiest way for me.
Aria always gets himself into trouble.
Well, he had to give it back. They actually made you give it back. So now, if you add a set of wheels to it, we now have the new Hyundai EV Kona.
Hyundai,
because that's what the EV Konas are now starting to look like. Their batteries are now failing and catching on fire. So let's just pause here for a second. You put yourself now. I'm going to assume you've never seen the battery configuration of an electric vehicle before. Not many.
Not an electric vehicle. However, I did just purchase an electric lawnmower.
But that's
battery
got one
lawnmower,
pack, right?
Yes. It's still a battery.
Which one? The Ryobi?
No, I got a Victor.
A Victor? I don't know that brand.
I did a lot of research.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Look, I don't have a lawn.
It's Australian brand. It's made overseas, but it's Australian brand.
Okay. So you know how dense your battery pack is, right? Now go to the car. What they do is the whole way along the bottom of the car, they load the cells. That's where all the cell packs sit. There's nothing else to go there. There's only like 30 moving parts in an electric car. So each wheel has an engine, and the engine's a little motor, not an engine, and they connect to battery packs. So literally that whole floor is lithium-ion battery packs. So you're literally sitting on a cooking time bomb. If something goes wrong and it sparks, it goes wrong quickly, hence the picture. So they've now done a recall here in Australia, I think globally. But
wow,
that's
scary.
A new industry, like electric cars do, we're trying to get everyone to buy into them. We're trying to make sure they're safe for everyone.
Yeah.
This is not something that, how do you pronounce it? Hyundai. I say Hyundai. I don't know which is right.
Hyundai. I don't know.
Up there in the chat, I don't know. You need the phonetics. Hyundai, potato. Anyway.
Exactly.
The bottom line is that one's not worth anything.
No, that's really scary. Has Tesla had problems like that?
Not to this extreme, no. There has been a short circuit or something, but not to the point where they're having issues with their batteries. But you know what it generally is, Tess? And I mean, it's also unfair even on Samsung. It's generally a batch. So every lithium-ion battery, your phone included, has a little regulator. It's a little piece of tech that sits on top of the battery. That's why they always ask you not to change your battery yourself. And that measures the current flow in, and it measures how full the battery is or how charged the battery is. If that thing stops working, it just keeps flowing. The energy it's like a stop valve. So it just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing, and then the battery swells. And when it swells, things go wrong. And that happens on laptops. It happens everywhere. There's generally one batch because it's the transformers that are on not transformer, that's not the right word. The regulator that actually controls it. So yeah, sorry for you, Hyundai. Please fix it because it's actually not a bad looking car. It's not too shabby. I mean, I'd drive something like that.
I would not think that was an electric car.
Yeah.
Well, MG have an electric car as well that I was looking at. Yeah.
They do. You know what the problem with the MG is? It's a great looking car. It's great value for money, but its range is only about 200 something Ks. So you can't drive from here to Canberra on a charge. Now, not that you need to drive to Canberra, or not that we like drive anywhere. At the moment, you can drive 5Ks.
5K.
I got shots fired there. Thanks, Gladys. So anyway, yeah. Moving.
Now that's the wrong buzzer. Shouldn't it be this one?
You got other sounds.
Did you hear it?
I can't hear it. No.
Oh no! How are we going? Oh, I have to take my headphones off.
Correct. Your microphone and your headphone is connected.
I have to do that later.
Right. So we all know Wikipedia. Now, a lot of people like and don't like Wikipedia. I personally do like it. I know that you can't believe everything on Wikipedia. For those of you that still don't know how it works, it's basically a self-curated platform. So it starts off with something and then people just add or remove. And there are people that are moderating it. But I've come across, there was actually a website that showed the funnies of Wikipedia and how people had gone in and changed it. Like Napoleon Bonaparte was actually a dog and blah, blah. You know what I mean? And
wow. Yeah.
The community kind of self-regulates. So we've had an instance this week where people have gone and stuck swastikas all over. There was like 56,000 pages that were hit with 53,000.
They're obviously in lockdown. They are in lockdown and they do not know what to do.
They're everywhere and they're idiots. So I've got an answer for you. Given how we like to collect toilet paper when there's, you know, what I would have done if I was moderating, instead of just removing them, I would have gone and given them their little thing. So picture courtesy of Mad, but I just thought it was appropriate given how the truckies are looking to strike, and we might not get toilet paper. So we can go to Wikipedia and get some there. Yeah. So thanks for that. Hope you guys had fun, but it's all been gone now. Now, I've brought up OnlyFans again.
OnlyFans again?
Okay. So
you're obsessed.
OnlyFans, now it's back to OnlyFans. I love this.
What's going on?
Thoughts, close walk. So they've now 180'd again. The moratorium on porn and nudity in October has now been removed.
So what happened to the pressure they were getting?
Well, this is the thing, right? And this is what's so powerful about people and probably the reason why we have our peaceful rallies and everything else. So 3 weeks ago, I mentioned they were doing a safe for work, but I thought there was more to the story. Last week, I looked at it again, and the reason that they were moving to their safe for work and banning porn and everything else was because apparently the banks had said they won't process credit card transactions. And if you can't get paid, you can't do it. Now they've gone back because everyone's been putting up their hand and saying, hey, man, we'll build you a platform. Come. And when you're a listed company with 120 million active users daily or whatever it is, it's a massive portal. You can't lose that. So they've found a way around it. I don't know if it's PayPal. No, PayPal doesn't. You can't use PayPal for adult content sites either. I don't know what the answer is. I don't have an OnlyFans account and I don't subscribe to OnlyFans. But I have been fascinated by the story.
So he says.
No, I don't. You're welcome to have a look at my machine anytime you want. I don't need to. You've met my wife. I'm married to one of the most gorgeous women in the world, I think, anyway.
She is, yes.
In fact, it's my wedding anniversary tomorrow, so shout out to
Gail. Congratulations, Gail, for putting up with
20 years of jail. I mean, marriage.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You get less for murder.
I know. I keep saying that. Like I could have murdered someone and been out already, probably twice.
Yep.
Anyway, no, just joking. I love her. I'm looking forward to another 20, 30.
She's gorgeous. We love you, Gail. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Right, from porn to, because I mean, after watching some porn, you get thirsty.
Today's the right weather for beer. It's gorgeous.
This is the featured tenant in the SME Mall. Now,
you can sell alcohol?
What the SME Mall is? .org.
Oh, Brett, tell me what the SME Mall is.
The SMEmall.org is basically something that we've done in conjunction with SME TV and podcasts. which you produce. Oh, that's so cute. What's his name?
Daisy.
Daisy, her name.
He's a she.
He's a she. I cannot see that from here. So basically, the SME Mall is a mall that we've built to help small and medium enterprise businesses, specifically service companies as well, to be able to sell online at no charge. And within 6 minutes, we'll have you up and live and selling. So
you mean it's free to register?
It's free to register and free to have a site. There's no monthly charges. There's only a transactional charge when you sell or when you get a booking for your service. Now, the reason why I'm really stoked about having Craft Cartel, it says Craft Cartel liquor, but you can just go to this mall and search beer in the search, or just go to the 18+ section. Please drink responsibly, and alcohol is not for sale to people under the age of 18, just in case my producer's listening. Oh, wait, she is. It's Father's Day in Australia this weekend.
You're going to take a quiz and it's going to be all about Apple. How well does Brett know Apple?
Is this now obligatory? This is what we're doing now. I'm supposed to be the host, but now you're the producer. Okay.
Fine. I thought I was a co-host, therefore I had rights.
You are okay. I'm trying to wangle out of this because I have no idea what's coming at me. But
no, you don't know the questions.
How do we do this?
Well, basically,
a Q&A.
It's a Q&A. I'm going to ask you a question, and if you get it right,
what do I get? I get a bell.
You get a bell.
Okay.
If you get it wrong, oops, I lost my bell. There we go. So just some random questions that I thought were pretty much I didn't know anything about. I know about Apple, but I don't really know about Apple. So I thought, you know what, let's do something different. Rather than do a Q&A on me, which I didn't want to do, I thought, why don't we do a Q&A all about Apple and see how well Brett knows his loved possession.
I'll accept the challenge.
Right. Accept the challenge. Okay. All right. First question. Question one.
Question one.
Who were the founders of Apple?
Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. There was a third guy. I actually can't remember his name because he sold out too early, so he lost.
He sold out for $800.
Yeah, you need that funny sound because if there was ever a loser,
no, you sort of get it right.
But Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs are the Apple that we know.
Yes. Oops. Hang on, I've got a puppy
and he's affectionately known as the Woz.
So Roland Wayne was his name. Was the third co-founder. Roland Wayne.
My middle name is Roland, but that's
about. So really, did he get it right? Yeah, I don't think so.
I got it right. No, I got it right.
But there were three.
Yeah. Okay. But I knew that there was a third one, but he wasn't there for the commercial product, so it's a bit grey. But anyway, I'll take
question two.
Question two.
When did the first Apple computer go on sale?
Oh. I'm going to say that this was 1980 or 84.
How old am I?
I don't know. That's not an Apple-related question, and you never ask a woman her age.
We're the same age. I'm giving you the answer here.
You never ask a woman her age. Wasn't it 84?
Oops, hang on. 1976. July 1976.
That's unbelievable. I didn't realize. Yes. I did not know that. Okay.
Okay. Question 3. Where did the name Apple come from? Or how did it come about?
From Adam and Eve. I have no idea.
No, so the apple was already around. Adam and Eve were given the apple. So Steve Jobs, he loved fruit. And it's plain and simple. So Apple ended up being the name. So that's
was he eating an apple at the time?
He possibly could have been. Okay. Yeah. Now, every iPhone.
This is history.
This is a good one. Every iPhone ad displays the time 9:41 a.m. Why?
9:41 a.m.
Yep. So on every iPhone ad.
Is that not Steve Jobs's?
It's to do with Steve Jobs.
Is it his daughter's birthday?
No.
Lisa. Her name was Lisa.
Yes, her name is Lisa. 941. Okay.
Well, that's his
You're gonna
birthday.
get a
941 is when he was born.
So
September
it was
41.
at 9:41 in 2007 is when he unveiled the original iPhone.
Ah, okay.
So they've kept that constant throughout. So for every iPhone ad that comes out, it's always displays 9:41 a.m.
I'm doing really badly. Well, if we're proving anything, we're proving that this show is not scripted in any way, shape, or form.
Yes, Brett did not see these questions beforehand. Okay, another question. A yes or no answer. Is the iPhone the most profitable product in the world?
Yes.
Very good.
It used to be the iPod. Do you know that? They've had two of the most profitable products in
Correct.
the world.
Yes.
It was the iPod, and then obviously the evolution to the iPhone.
Okay, this is interesting. So in 1986, Apple launched a new product, but it failed miserably. Do you know what it was?
Yes, the Newton.
Hmm?
The Newton. The Newton handheld. What was it? 86. Yeah, wasn't it the Newton?
No, they had a clothing line.
Really?
They actually had clothes.
Can you imagine what those would be worth now? Like, think
Correct.
about it.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
the irony.
Yep.
I know about Next Computing when he went on his little sabbatical and that, but I did not know about the clothing.
No, I must admit, I was like, what? And they even, and funny enough,
what
they
I mentioned, just for the
well.
audience, because this is a tech show, not a clothing show, the Newton was like a Palm Pilot. It was a handheld version of a computer, and it was also a failure. It was terrible. It was clunky. It was cumbersome. It was, it was no more. How many more questions are there?
A couple more questions. So, was Apple the first to make a digital color camera? Yes or no?
No.
Yes, it was.
Digital color camera?
Yes.
Can't be.
Well, the internet told me it was.
No, I think we'd have to go on that one.
Okay, all right. He disputes it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
Speaking of Lisa, that was one of the text computers that they had. What does Lisa stand for?
Well, Lisa was his daughter's name.
Lisa was his daughter's name, but he named one of the machines after his daughter.
I have no idea. I just thought it was
Logical Integrated Software Architecture.
There we go. So you got clever and you took
Lisa was a commercial. Lisa was a commercial computer with on-screen graphics and a mouse. Correct.
And the ones that still remain go for an incredible amount of money today as collector's pieces.
So
they work.
That's the end of my little Q&A.
That was fun. I think what we need to do is kind of do this on the spot challenge Quizmaster. I mean, so I think in my defense, my love with Apple, and I mean, this is disclosure, only has been around for the last 15 years or so. I was a PC user when I started in business, like most people, only when I got into agency, started moving across to Mac. And in fact, up to Windows 95, I was still using a PC. After that, when that Vista rubbish came out, it was like, fine, I moved across to the Mac environment. But my love for Mac or Apple's, it actually started with the phone. That's where it started. The way the phone works, what the phone did, what it stood for. And then, they hook you in. In fact, I give a shout out to Alon now. He's been an Android user as long as I've known him. He's just bought an iPhone, and within 2 months, he's now got the watch. And let's take a little bit, within a year's time, there'll be a MacBook floating around. There are already iPads floating around. That's what happens.
I nearly bought a MacBook. Nearly.
You should have. It's definitely the right way to go. Speaking of MacBooks, let's stay on the topic of Apple just to round off. The rumor mills are going mad because as it's spring here, fall over in the States. This is when we expect Apple to announce the big event.
Yes,
it's always now,
right.
September, October. And the rumors are going crazy that we're going to see a 14 and 16-inch MacBook instead of the 13 and 15 config.
Wow.
Now, what's very interesting here, because I'm looking at mine. Remember, you measure a screen like that diagonally. It's not the width. And they proved this when they brought out the MacBook. It was only a 12-inch screen on an 11 or 10.5-inch body. So I think we're still going to see the current size of the 13-inch and the 15-inch chassis, but the screen is literally going to go edge to edge. We're going to lose that little bevel that goes around, the bezel, sorry, that goes around.
It's like your TVs.
Correct. So that's quite exciting. That's one of the rumor mills. The other that's been floating around is that the iPhone 13 will support satellite phone calls as well. I'm not sold on that.
That would be huge.
Technology requires a lot of integration and a lot of chips.
And they're always such big phones, those satellite phones.
Unless they found a way to relaunch software that talks to a transponder and anything's possible. But the one thing I am excited about, and this is pretty much guaranteed, when I say that, we don't know, but looking at some of the molds and leaks that have come out so this is what's cool, is that when people start having to make products to support, these things leak. The new Apple Watch, the 7, so we're on 6 at the moment, 6.
Yep.
The 7 is going to be a design change like we've never seen before. It will go to the square look of the new iPhones as opposed to the rounded curved edges like the old iPhones. Makes it bigger. It looks incredible, the renderings that I've seen, and yes, I do want one, even though I've just got mine. Do we have time for a question? Because one of the questions that came through that I think I'd like to answer.
We surely can squeeze in one or two.
All right. Well, there's 2 that came in that I'd like to answer. The first one that came through is, what is Yik Yak and why is it back? I feel like I'm going to go into a rap. What is Yik Yak and why is it back?
Exactly. Yeah.
So Yik Yak, I'm going to start with the end. I don't know why it's back, but Yik Yak was an app that was very popular about 4 or 5 years ago with students, but it got shut down due to cyberbullying. So people were using it to literally abuse people. It was like what they do with Snapchat and that now.
Well, I'm confused because there's so much out there now that they do the same thing from Facebook to everything. So did this one work differently?
Well, it was one of the first, and then the others that kind of
came after. Yeah,
okay. And then but the point is, like, why come back? We don't need another app. We're all trying to come off this stuff. So what are they going to do that's so different that actually warrants me downloading and setting up another profile of another app and then hoping someone else has it? So Yik Yak, Paddy Whack, next.
Yik Yak, don't come back.
Don't come back. Paddy Whack, don't come back. Brett, you're going to hurt yourself. This question that came through, I really like, and I do want to answer it. Someone asked the difference between Wi-Fi 5 and Wi-Fi 6. So the reason you would ask that would be for home. We're all working from home. This is why I wanted to bring this up. So working from home, the biggest thing that people are noticing is their internet speed and internet loss. So they haven't got, it's not reaching the kids working in the bathroom and the husband's working in the toilet and you're working in the lounge. You know what I mean? We're all trying to get your little space in the house now when people are working.
Mine's pretty good. I was outside yesterday. Worked fine.
All right. So people are now buying mesh or range extenders. That's where this comes into play, Wi-Fi 5 and Wi-Fi 6.
Right.
So like Bluetooth, where we had 3 and 4, and we're now in 5 and 6 is imminent. Wi-Fi 5 and Wi-Fi 6. 6 is the next generation. It's fairly new. It's been around for a while, but devices are fairly new. If you are investing in making your internet spread further through your house and you have the extra money, and I stress the extra money because it is a significant change. It can be 50 to 80% more to buy a Wi-Fi 6 ready product. I would advocate for buying it. You can get speeds of up to 250 times faster. So, if you're running,
250
times faster, but let me clarify that. The speed of transfer from the modem or the router to the first node, to the second node, to the third node is what I'm talking about. The internet speed coming into your house is still the same. So if you're on a 10 meg line, well, no one's on a 10 meg. If you're on ADSL, if you're on a 50 meg line with NBN, and if it works, whether you've got Wi-Fi 4, 5, or 6, the speed of transfer will be faster between nodes, but the speed of your internet won't be, if that makes any sense. That's why I wanted to actually answer this question for whoever asked it. So why I'm saying buy it is that our internet speeds, our incoming internet speeds are getting faster and faster every single day. So rather put technology in that's going to last longer and support these faster speeds, even though it costs you a few dollars more. Well, not a few, as I said, 60-70% more. But the even more important thing, though, is I would rather buy a well-known brand Wi-Fi 5 than an unknown brand Wi-Fi 6. And it's the
Right.
same with any other telephonic communication hardware. You'd rather have a well-known Samsung or Huawei or TCL, who sponsors our show, than go and buy a
Thank you, TCL.
whatever it's called, just to save the cash, you know? So, yeah, that's the difference between Wi-Fi 5 and Wi-Fi
Okay.
6. It's about transmitting from node to node. It doesn't send the signals necessarily further, doesn't make them stretch wider and higher and longer, but it does make them travel faster. Now, I'm very fortunate that I have 5G at home. So I have super fast internet. And then it travels on Wi-Fi 6 throughout my house at that same speed. So that's where it becomes important.
Come
Well,
here.
that brings us to the end of the show. That was fun. It was way overdue.
Well, you know
having
what?
you
That was
on
exciting.
screen and not behind screen. So yeah,
I enjoyed it. I hope I was okay.
fantastic. And thanks for stumping me.
I can only try.
Well, if that brings us to the end of it, then until next time, keep your screens clean and your knobs shiny.
Woo!